Hi all! Welcome to the Carros Show channel. Today we present to your attention the second part of the strangest military vehicles. Enjoy watching. Ekranoplane. This is the case when humanity doesn't have an unambiguous opinion about technology. Ekranoplanes were either forgotten for decades or again found themselves on the trend of inventive creativity. The idea of a dynamic air cushion vehicle was born in the 20s of the 20th century, but its golden age is the 60s. The Soviet invention was lucky to become the most mysterious and famous ekranoplane in the world. Many called it as a model ship, but Western intelligence agencies call this techno-marvel the Caspian monster. Its wingspan is almost 38 meters, length is about 100 meters. Once he flew with a takeoff weight of 544 tons, and this is not the limit, but this often happens with cool concepts. He remained a lone attempt to create something special. 15 years of flights over the expanse of the Caspian ended ingloriously. The ekranoplane was simply drowned in the sea. Flamethrower tanks are a rare and forgotten phenomenon, or almost forgotten. The very idea to create a tank spitting fire was born simultaneously with the first tanks, but despite the spectacular jets of flame, this technique was suitable for only one specific role – to storm enemy fortifications. The only flamethrower tank that was lucky enough to become massive and popular is the Churchill Crocodile. This steel reptile spat jets of flame at 100 to 140 meters. In total, each such tank pulled 1,800 liters of fuel. This was enough for about 81 hundreds of bursts. It is not surprising that these monsters were lucky to storm the German reinforced concrete fortress on the most difficult sections of the Western Front. The British Army received 800 Churchill flamethrowers. It is a pity that only 11 of these incendiary machines have survived to this day. In 1960, inventors dreamed of terrible things. It's good that many of these things didn't go beyond the secret factories and training grounds. For example, the American nuclear tank from Chrysler, and unlike the dangerous Miracle from America, the Soviet tank went far beyond the blueprints. This project was on the verge of implementation. The thickness of the armor of such a tank was 2 times higher than that of any other heavy tank. Its appearance was unique with its ellipsoid shape and 4 tracks. In 1959, the Leningrad tank builders produced a prototype of the deadly Miracle machine. Naturally, this release of this monster was completed. Of course, Object 279 escaped the fate that went to the Tsar tank. The prototype just went forever to the Armored Museum in the city of Kubinka. In the 90s of the 19th century, this is the era of the first cars, bicycles and machine guns. As it turned out, they can be crossed and combined. Combat ATVs are just such a hybrid. In 1898, the British inventor Frederick Sims created a single-seat ATV with a machine gun. The uniqueness of the situation is that the brainchild of Sims turned out to be the first military vehicle with an internal combustion engine. Of course, the first pancake is lumpy. Given the then technology and rules of warfare, the ATV driver turned into a suicide and an easy target. The First World War gave the world not so many things that radically changed the world. Tanks are one of them. These hulking, steel hulks quickly became the symbol of a new era and new wars. It all started with a giant named Mark I. In 1916, the British created 100 of these machines in 2 versions, male with cannons and female with machine guns. And already on September 15, 18 such monsters broke through the German defense line. Slow, gentle and clumsy, they were not perfect in the worst sense of the word. The stumps often broke down, and even on good roads they could reach speeds of up to 6 km per hour, and the crews were too vulnerable, but the picked roofs of the first tanks became a symbol of a new type of conflict. People too often create things for one purpose, to scare their own kind. Some are afraid, while others are intimidating. You were on the Carros Show channel. Goodbye.